Echo 5, do you copy? Echo 5.
Echo 2, good morning. Nice of you to drop by.
Feeling alright, sir? Thought we lost you.
Right now, I feel like I can take on this whole podcast myself.
I know what you mean. Ready to send that transmission to Echo Base?
Yes, sir. R10, patch through.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Hoth Transmissions. We are continuing our adventure through Mandalorian Season 3, the Book of Boba Fett, and we will be discussing Chapter 6. A lot of cool things going. But first, I want to jump into a little bit of news. We saw a cool poster that was released yesterday, and just want to get some of your guys' thoughts on it. Oh yeah, and by the way, we got Echo 3 and Echo 12 back joining us.
Hello, hello. That was a kick-ass poster. And it's coming out on, the 45th anniversary of A New Hope? First time we've ever seen Obi-Wan?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have been fighting me on this one because because I have some sources at Lucasfilm, and they're saying, oh yeah, it's going to come out in spring, but we have celebrations coming up, I believe on the 18th, 19th, and 20th, or 17th, or whatever. And everybody's like, no, they're going to release it on May 4th. They're going to release it on May 4th. I was like, that makes sense, but I feel like they would hold it off until after celebration, which it looks like they're doing because it's going to be released on the 25th of May.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, can I also say how crazy it is that A New Hope came out almost 50 years ago?
Yeah.
And it's still this good. It's my second favorite Star Wars movie. It's held up really well.
It has.
Dude, it's insane. It's insane.
Isn't
how
it?
far it's come.
It's a classic.
I barely remember the 25th anniversary, and here we are, 45th.
Yeah.
I don't remember the 20th anniversary, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The 25th. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I hope Revenge of the Sith. I think that's both of our favorite Star Wars movies. I hope that holds up.
Yeah, it'll hold up.
Good.
It'll hold up. It still holds up.
I was gonna say it's been about 20 years, and the CGI in that movie is really good still.
Yeah,
it still looks really good.
As far as the poster goes, it's gonna be, dude. We don't want to settle into Tatooine fatigue, but it is, Obi-Wan. So I think the expectation level still has to be high because, there's, like you were telling me, 2 trilogies on the line in this.
Yeah.
In this movie or in this show.
Yeah, that's kind of my big takeaway about Kenobi coming up. Echo 2. At first I was a little worried because, I think Boba Fett's good. The Book of Boba Fett's good, but I think it's more of like it's not quite as good as Mandalorian.
No, and it's said that Mandalorian had to come in to make Book of Boba better.
Yeah.
This is Mando season 2.5.
I'm hoping that Kenobi can be the same quality as Mandalorian, but the other thing is that it's super sensitive to the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. It can change the entire way we look at these trilogies if they decide to go in certain directions with the story.
Yeah, from what I've heard so far on it, we're gonna have Inquisitors, we're gonna have Vader in it. Kenobi's just gonna make a cameo in it, and I know it's gonna be over several different planets. It's actually not gonna be focused on Tatooine. And I'm joking about the Kenobi making a cameo.
I was just about to say, are you serious? I was laughing and then I made a serious face for Joe. I was like, is it serious?
Because I just kept going. I didn't backtrack at all. I just kept going.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Wait. The interesting thing, me and Richard were having a discussion about this when the poster came out, is because in A New Hope, Vader says, when I left you, I was a learner, I'm the master. Richard brought up a good point because, by the way, Kathleen Kennedy. Sorry, was that?
Echo 12.
Oh, Echo 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kathleen Kennedy, or one of the producers, have already said that there's going to be a rematch. Vader and
it's going to be the rematch of the century or whatever.
That's what they said. Then Bridger, what did you say?
I pointed out,
Echo 12. What did you say?
We don't want to. There's some very delicate dialogue balancing where we're going to have to do because Darth Vader does say, "When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I'm the master." But he doesn't say the last time I saw you. He says, "When I left you," and well, I mean, he left him at Revenge of the Sith. It doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean, actually, technically, Obi-Wan left Anakin.
Right. Anakin left the Order, which could also be construed as when we left. But regardless, the point stands that he doesn't say the very last time I saw you on Mustafar when we battled in episode.
Yeah, I feel you.
They can make
But
it.
I think what they're really trying to hold on to is the line in Return of the Jedi where Luke is going to Vader saying, "Hey, I know there's still good in you," and Vader's like, "Obi-Wan once thought as you did," implying that Obi-Wan made an effort to try and bring him back.
Right.
Mm,
Right. And we haven't.
that's true.
Yeah. I mean, that could
Capitalize
be
on
his.
that.
That could be his spiel when he has the high ground. We were brothers, Anakin.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like when they're fighting on Mustafar, Obi-Wan wasn't really trying to bring him back. He was just like, "Dude, you screwed up.
Yeah.
I'm here to kill you." It's like, "You were my brother, Anakin. Why are you making me do this?"
Obi-Wan remains undefeated. Man, we better see his track record stay that same way in the new.
Dude. Oh man, you guys haven't seen Rebels, because
Not quite yet.
Inquisitors show up in Rebels, and
Oh, I showed Bridger how they I showed Bridger. Also, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say I showed Bridger how they showed up with their helicopters. The helicopter.
Yeah. Let's forget about that. That's cheesy.
Let's move on.
That's not how the Force works, anyways. But the entire series, they're like coming up as like these intimidating characters. Ezra and Kanan are having a lot of issues fighting these guys. Like together they can take him, but then there's an episode where Ahsoka's in it, and two of the Inquisitors come up against Ahsoka, and Ahsoka just basically destroys them. Barely even has to put any effort against them. And I'm kind of hoping we get more of that with Obi-Wan. Like if an Inquisitor shows up, like I'm expecting Obi-Wan to be like, "Yeah, please get out of my way."
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're nothing. Because if Ahsoka can handle them like effortlessly, I'm assuming Obi-Wan is a lot more skilled at that.
Oh yeah, Obi takes Grievous. He takes Anakin. No, he's got it.
Ball
But
too.
he can't take Dooku.
Can't take Dooku.
Yeah, he's 0-2 against Dooku.
Well, I mean, there is lineage there. I mean, he was taught by the guy that taught.
That's a good idea.
Qui-Gon. So there could be some sort of intrinsic knowledge there, but also
And emotional connection. I mean, Anakin was a little bit more, I guess, devoid of emotion. He was more delving into the dark side when he defeated Dooku the second time. Because he didn't win the first time.
No. Yeah, there
He
could
got a
also
little chopped up.
Yeah, some forced trickery with Sheev in the room as well.
Hey, I have a question about Rebels real quick. So at the end of Rebels, are Inquisitors no more, or are Inquisitors supposedly around during the original trilogy as well?
I want to say they're not really that involved. I think they're more involved at the beginning of or at the end of Order 66, up until the Empire really took control.
But they're in because I was looking it up. Rebels takes place from 5 to 1 BBY, right before New Hope.
Yeah.
So because whenever I watch original trilogy, I don't really think there's a lot of Inquisitors and Jedi going around. So are they dead?
Well, I mean, like if you look at the comics, like after A New Hope, Vader is training with a couple other potential quote unquote replacements for Vader. The Emperor was finding Vader weak and whatnot, and so I think at that point, I think there were some Inquisitors during around that time, but Vader pretty much killed them because a lot of them were starting to think on their own, and he's like, "Yep, no, you're done."
No.
Yeah, and maybe also by that time they thought they got most of the Jedi, and they're like, all right, we don't need the Inquisitors on the payroll or something.
Yeah, I mean, because they kind of follow the rule of two, but you don't really count the Inquisitors as Sith.
Mm-hmm.
They're just kind of just tools. They're like not even that strong in the Force. I know, like the Grand Inquisitor, he was a Jedi Temple guard that turned to the dark side.
Wow.
And you kind of, not to spoil Jedi Fallen Order, but you can kind of see how the Inquisitors are made. Brecken should remember that. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
you'll get to that point later.
He's plugging his ears right now, Mark.
Echo 12.
Okay, good.
Going deaf over here.
Oh yeah, Echo 12.
To kind of draw back to the Book of Boba Fett and draw a parallel to Kenobi. I think, what we said about Book of Boba Fett, we needed Mando to show up to save it. I think a lot of that can be pinpointed to Boba. It's not a hero. And heroes, tend to be the focus of story. Mando's a clear hero. Kenobi's a clear hero. Boba, when we get introduced to him, he's an antagonist the whole time we've ever known him. We're 45 years later, or 40, or 38 years later, and we're trying to reshape the way Boba Fett is seen. I think Kenobi
But
suffered.
you also haven't seen Clone Wars. So every time you've seen Boba, he's been an anti-hero.
That's true, but
if you watch Clone Wars, you kind of see Boba becoming more of a I really wouldn't say hero, but he's not as bad as we've seen him in the movies. In the movies, especially Empire Strikes Back, he's just doing just what he needs to do in order to make a quick buck.
In any case, I feel like he should have been closer to Venom in the anti-hero place instead of trying to just be another Mandalorian.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Um,
you do have me beat on the the Clone Wars thing. I'll concede.
Yeah.
Because I think Kenobi is a character that we all know and love, and I don't think they can screw up his character, regardless.
Well, they can. It's possible.
They won't.
They can, but I don't think they will. But it's very possible, and that's why.
Which is funny because I think that the two characters that weren't screwed up in the prequels were Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
And the Emperor. I don't think Palpatine was screwed up.
Oh yeah, you're right. Ian McKellen did a solid role.
He was elevated. I would even say Palpatine was elevated from prequels.
Yeah, until you get to the battle between him and Yoda, that was kind of cheesy.
Oh, me and Bridget, we like that duel, dude. we like that duel.
I don't know. Some of his mannerisms in that scene are just kind of a little funky. But,
and also,
the fight was cool though.
There's a lot of CGI in that because a lot of the scenes, even the Emperor CGI. He's not flipping around, and
he was old by that point.
So I could see where you're coming from on that one for sure.
Yeah, but I'll get more into that once we get into the prequels and stuff like that. Right. And I'll discuss a little bit more on my thoughts of the entirety of Book of Boba once we cover all 7 episodes. Because for people that are watching it that probably haven't seen it all of it. All the episodes are out now. We're kind of recording a little bit late, but a lot of people, if they're following along as it or they've already binged it and then decided to binge our podcast just to hear it, then that's cool. But we don't want to throw in too many spoilers on it. But
this is a good idea.
But overall, I really liked. I like the Book of Boba. I'm just really confused at what it wanted to be. It just seemed very clumsy, I'd say.
What do you think it wanted to be? What do you think the goal was?
Probably something that we're not even been introduced to. I feel like the Book of Boba is a stepping stone to what's going to happen in Mando season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll discuss more of that after we kind of discuss Chapter 7 and give some of my reasons why.
Yeah, that's fair. I think either the episodes 5 and 6 should have been about Boba, or there just should have been 2 more episodes, because it seems like certain things this gets into the finale, but certain things that were set up weren't set up completely to their full potential. Right. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. It's tough. As far as episode 6 goes, it is a pretty big deviation from.
Episode 6 is great, though. Episode 6 is some of the best content of Star Wars we've gotten.
Right. And
I've had discussions with people on this. Like, I honestly think that so far up to Chapter 6, the Book of Boba, the individual episodes are pretty cool. Really great Star Wars content. But as a season so far, I'm not digging it.
Wow.
But I do enjoy the content that we've got out of it, though.
Wait, cool question. Are you saying it's in good category, average category, or are you even saying it's bad? when you say
I'm
you're not.
saying as a season of a story,
Mhm.
it's all over the place.
Cohesively, yeah, there's no cohesion. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Individually,
individually on the. But if you take every episode individually, like I've loved every episode so far.
yeah, but
Dude, it's
crafting an entire 6-episode narrative up to this point. Don't tell a complete story or even a cohesive one at that.
yeah. It's a head scratcher because it's definitely not bad. I would never say that this is bad, but I don't know if I can even say it's good. Is the problem? Like I don't. It's like
Yeah,
I'm scratching my head at this series.
because like one of my buddies, he was texting me the other day. He's like, I'm on episode 3 of the Book of Mandalorian. He's like, I'm not digging this. He's
Hmm.
like, these teenagers. He's like, what's their deal? And so I had to explain. I'm like, okay, this is the Spy Kids. I'm like, go listen to a podcast and we'll kind of like cover it a little bit more. And but then even he got into episodes 5 and 6. Sorry, big yawn there. He got into episodes 5 and 6 and he still didn't even get drawn into it. He's like, well, I'm excited for Kenobi. I'm like, all right. I'm like,
That's surprising. Yeah.
yeah, because I really enjoyed 5 and 6. 5 and 6 I thought were like some of the best content that we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
But I mean, to each their own, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I could understand it from a point of like it completely takes you away from Boba's story. It completely takes you away from the plots that are going on. I mean, you could lose interest that way, but in terms of like the quality of the episodes, I'm not seeing. I think they're really good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they kind of did Boba dirty in this series. Boba, it's just seemed like the writers didn't really know anything about Boba, so they're like, okay, let's do 4 episodes going over his backstory. This is what he's doing. All right, we ran out of ideas. Let's throw Mando in for 2 episodes to kind of just cover some content. But I feel like they could have used these 2 episodes to really like develop more about Mos Espa and build up a little bit more of the world that they're trying to create here. Because Boba's trying to save the city, and so he's setting up his position. And honestly, I don't even know what he's trying to save because we haven't really seen a characterization of Mos Espa.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've seen a dozen people in it.
Yeah, and 1 sector at night, and the sanctuary.
Yeah.
I think they could have used these 2 episodes to really like pull more into different areas of Mos Espa. They could have had Boba interact more with the local gangs to try and maybe like because they had that dinner and he's like, oh, all right, well, we'll stay out of it. We won't take any money to turn against you, blah blah blah. Instead, we could have kind of seen Boba go out and maybe they're in trouble by the Pikes, and he comes in and saves them, and they're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna join you, instead of a lot of the introduction or a lot of the cameos that they threw in.
It's almost like the placement of the episodes was off or something, or the structure. Like a lot of the stuff that was in the first 3 or 4 could have been all done in the first episode, kind of thing, and then we develop other things as we go on. There's a lot of stuff about the finale that I like to bring up, but I mean, we can talk about that later.
Yeah, because I really liked the flashbacks, and I felt like that became the main story for Boba Fett. I found that more interesting than what he was actually doing in the modern time. And then now that we got to the modern time, it's Mando and Luke and Ahsoka and Grogu and all this stuff that I feel was kind of unnecessary to add into it.
Yeah, no, it definitely feels like, like we got
Sorry.
caught up with Boba in the present day. And then they decided, all right, let's see what's going on the other side of the galaxy now that we know this. And I mean, the setup for Mando joining Boba did not need 2 entire episodes. Let's be real. I mean, he could have flown in wherever and figured that out quickly. We didn't need 2 episodes of this. Like, yes, we're happy that Luke showed up in Ahsoka and we got to see what they're up to, but to cut away from, the titular character for 2 episodes of a 7-episode series, very, very interesting, creative choice. I guess it's hard to
honestly.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say honestly, what I think they should have done was shown Mando on a mission, and then Fennec shows up and says, "Hey," and then do a whole thing on that.
Yeah, exactly.
At least introduce like even Fennec. into it, and Boba stays back. Oh, Boba's taking care of this back here, so I'm coming to talk to you. And then they do a little mission, and then they fly back, and then they walk into the palace, and Boba's like just chilling right there. Because it almost feels like they didn't want to waste anything out of season 3 of Mando on him building a ship and getting Grogu back.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the payoff. I mean, if you go back and watch Mandalorian, and then you skip the Book of Boba Fett in a couple years, you're gonna see Grogu and him separated at the end of season 2, and then at the start of season 3, they're back together. There's gonna be a disconnect in the story a little bit.
I was gonna say that they definitely develop kind of a new character for Boba Fett. Like they do a lot of character development within the series. But the problem is now you watch original trilogy and you know he ends up being soft. Like that's kind of he's going clean, he's going soft in this whole series. That's kind of the whole overarching, theme of it. And I don't know if that sits right. I don't know if that sits right with a lot of, fans.
I mean, time will tell. I'll rewatch the series and really pull out my opinion on it. But as of right now, that's kind of what I'm thinking on it. But let us jump into the actual chapter.
Yeah, we probably sound pretty negative right now, but this episode is freaking fire. The whole thing.
Oh yeah. Especially because it starts off with Cobb Vanth, and I was like, okay, all right, so he's getting introduced. I liked his whole interaction with the Peck Syndicate. Like he's really like developed into his whole sheriff or marshal role.
Yeah, he has. Well, he was the marshal even when we first saw him in Mando, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. But I mean, it's kind of cool to kind of see him a little bit more. Like he's actually going against the Peck Syndicate. Like he isn't afraid. He doesn't have his armor now, and he's like, I'm still upholding the law. This is who I am.
Yeah, and apparently this is a famous actor, but I don't know who the actor is. I probably should, but
I've seen him on quite a few things.
Yeah,
I know he was on a Netflix series. I suppose it it was a zombie one with Drew Barrymore. It's like Santa Monica, I don't know. It's some kind of like zombie show. It's interesting, but it only got cut off after 3 seasons. But he's done a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's perfect as a cowboy. He fits in that role perfectly.
Yeah, I like what they really did with this because they're really trying to fit in the whole the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh yeah, I've only seen like clips of that, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. Cad Bane was designed after one of the characters in it. It wasn't Clint Eastwood's character; it was the other one. I think I can think of his. Let me look up his name real quick.
From the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Based off.
Yeah, he played
Based off the
Lee Van Cleef.
Yeah, the bad.
Bridger likes those movies. He's seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, have you? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's who Cad Bane was originally designed off of.
Dude, that makes perfect sense. I wrote a Western screenplay a couple years ago for an independent study for college.
Okay.
It was a Western, so I had to study a lot of those motifs and stuff. Great movie.
Yeah, and Deputy Scott was the ugly. And then obviously Cobb Vanth was Eastwood's character.
Oh yeah, he's the good.
Yeah. Never seen it, but I'm very intrigued to watch it now.
Yeah, it shares a lot of those like samurai Western motifs that Star Wars is built and inspired by.
Yeah, now that you mention it, because like even with the Bamboo Forest around the Jedi School, it's a nod to Asian fantasy movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those Japanese movies heavily inspired the Western genre. And
should we get into Cad Bane right now, or save that for later?
We could jump in wherever we want, or we can stay on follow the episode. But open discussion, pretty cool.
Yeah, I just want to say I think Cad Bane looked awesome in live action. I was really surprised to see all the backlash. There's a lot of people.
A lot of Clone Wars fans. That's why.
Well, and then yeah, Mark, bring up the point about the, like Count Dooku. Look at Count Dooku in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Occasions are very different.
Look at him in live action. But I was gonna say, there's a bunch of fans that took to Photoshop and digital like means to change the way he looked, but I think
I mean, that was cool, but
I think you can tell that Cad Bane is practical. It seems like a lot of his stuff is practical, and so the actor's putting a lot of performance in there. And if you change that all to digital, it kind of takes some stuff away. And and he looked so he looked so cool.
Yeah.
And he looked scary. He
looked
was
terrifying.
scary. He was menacing. You know.
Yeah, I actually really agree on it.
And his outfit was cool too. Whoever put his outfit together.
No,
Is that the same outfit as Clone Wars, or is that a different one?
Yeah, that's the same style. He
Uh-huh.
always had that trench coat, and it's one of the things that made him pretty cool because he always flipped it around, and then you see his blaster, and then he has his left hand ready to shoot.
Yeah,
Which is cool because he was left-handed in the Clone Wars, so I'm glad that they paid attention to detail and kept him left-handed.
Oh,
and
well,
they kept the voice actor Corey Burton.
of course, because Dave Filoni directed the episode. So
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Filoni's baby.
yeah, and which goes on with the title. Was it From the Desert Comes a Stranger?
Yeah, and I mean, from at least when I was watching immediately, you see the title card, and then you think, okay, well, Boba's the stranger coming to the town. And then you get all the way near the end of the episode, you're like, nope, Filoni tricked us.
Yep, Filoni's good at tricking people.
Yeah, he is. He has some fun titles. Man, he looked awesome.
dude, he looked great.
He looked horrifying. I was scared.
Better watch where you're sticking your nose. That whole interaction between Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth was just terrifying. And the thing that I liked about it is Cad Bane isn't the type of person that you just come up to and just demand stuff out of him. And he's like, "Oh, okay, you asked me a question, I'm gonna answer. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name." And his response was, "I'd be careful where I stick my nose if I were you."
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just gonna completely ignore your thing. I'm coming here telling you a message. And
shoot you, and I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, you should have never given up your armor because you stand no chance against me.
Yeah.
And also they set up at the start of the episode that Cobb Vanth is a elite gunslinger. Like he takes down those pikes like they're nothing.
Yeah.
And then Bane takes down Vanth like he's nothing.
Yeah.
And his little
And Deputy
Scott. Oh, rip Deputy Scott, dude.
Yeah, and honestly, I've seen a little bit of backlash, a little bit on Cobb Vanth surviving.
I got shot in the shoulders.
Yeah, he got shot in the shoulder. People are saying that he should have just killed Cobb Vanth, and then other people are like, "Well, it's kind of Cobb Vanth surviving is kind of like a takeaway from Cad Bane's sharpshooting skills," but I think Cad Bane kept him alive on purpose.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think that was definitely purposeful. Like that was a warning shot.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna kill Deputy Scott because he's coming pretty heavy against me." But you Cobb Vanth.
Well, he doesn't want to make him a martyr. I mean, if Cobb died, the people would think, oh, well, we have no choice now. But leave him alive to question it and say, no. Now I got to stay back, protect my people. I think not killing him was a calculated choice for sure.
What a name on that deputy too. Just a crazy out of this world name.
Scott?
Deputy Scott. Wow.
Yeah.
But,
well, hey, my name, Ezra Bridger.
Yeah.
Came into Star Wars.
I mean, it fits a little bit better than Deputy Scott, though.
Yeah.
Deputy Scott just too modern.
Yeah. Deputy John.
Yeah, Deputy John.
I guess Luke is Luke, though.
Yeah.
Luke is Luke.
Yeah, he's different.
Yeah, I guess. We're going to throw Luke in there.
Yeah, hey, let's get to Luke stuff. Let's talk about the best part.
Yeah, I know, because I know there's a lot of stuff you want to talk about with Luke. So, jumping back to the beginning of the episode, I just really like the Cobb Vanth's whole perspective with the syndicate. He's like, all right, guys. As far as I've seen, I haven't seen nothing, so no law has been broken. So you guys can just take off and just don't come around these parts again. And we get to see his gunslinger skills, and I thought that was pretty cool. He just took out 3 of them, and he left 1 guy alive. And he's like, all right, you can leave, but you got to leave that spice here. Spice is worth more than your time. He's like, well, looks like I'm going to retire. Just the whole banter was pretty solid in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. It also shows that he's like true to character. He doesn't care about the spice and how much it's worth. He just
When I first saw that, I thought that was sand. I thought
Really?
it was a fake thing, but it was spice in there, right?
yeah, no spice.
Yeah, it was really sad to see it go. I
Space
was
man.
like, I cried. I was like, dude, you could have retired.
Yeah, you could have retired. Not much spice.
I know we said let's move on from Cad Bane, but I gotta say something real quick that's just so funny. A lot of my friends, or all of my friends that are Star Wars fans, are huge Clone Wars fans, right? And the funny thing about Clone Wars fans is they're so passionate about Clone Wars. They're so passionate about it. Like I was texting all of them after this episode came out, and the only thing they talked about, Cad Bane, Cad Bane. He was there for like 30 seconds. I was like, bro, Luke, we just got Luke Skywalker for like 45 minutes in his prime after
Yeah,
Return
yeah.
of the Jedi.
We already saw Luke at the end of season 2, Amanda.
We saw him for what, 30 seconds?
Now we got Cad Bane.
No, but we got actual story and development with. We got actual Luke. Come on, we got him for like 40 minutes.
But we got Cad Bane.
They was just like, Cad Bane. Bro, Luke. Let's talk about some Luke.
I do like that they started to set up Luke's arc. I mean, by the end of the episode, we were wondering, at least me personally, Luke was supposed to be different, but he's still subscribing to that dogma of, if you want to
Jedi
choose
Order.
attachments, you got to go, and that does kind of show where he's headed in his arc.
It's tying it into the sequels.
Yeah, for sure.
But also jumping back to Cad Bane, I feel like they should have introduced him earlier in the series.
Oh, 100%.
And
What? Sorry, go ahead.
Like they should have showed his involvement a lot earlier.
How weird is that? You got this awesome character that everybody loves, and he could be the main villain of the series, and he's so menacing and so cool looking, and they bring him in the last 2 episodes of the series.
It almost feels like Filoni didn't want anybody else to get his hands on him.
Yeah,
like,
true.
He wanted to direct.
Filoni could have taken that episode a lot earlier.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, just weird decision making.
Yeah.
I see R2 every time I see R2 in these TV shows, it gives me chills. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Every time I see
Dude, I know. Mando flying in on the ship, and then R2 is the first thing I was like, oh man, R2 is definitely my favorite droid.
It's so funny.
Hands down.
It's so funny. He's like an inanimate droid, but
he's our one through line.
Yeah, he's a character.
Yeah. But I do miss seeing 3PO with R2.
Yeah.
But that would have been a little much.
Is this the same place that we see in The Last Jedi where Luke's training Grogu? Is this supposed to be the same planet?
No, the other planet was Ahch-To, a more secluded place. This is where Luke builds the Jedi Temple, where Kylo trains.
Oh, that's a different place. I always thought,
Yeah,
that's right. That's a different place. You're right.
And so, but he uses the same type of structures.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, because we see the droids making those structures. I was like, I thought there was like natives at the Last Jedi place that took care of the structures or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what they're leaning towards, but they kind of didn't really explain too much of it. I have the Last Jedi digital dictionary. I'll have to look it up, and I'll maybe do a post on the Instagram about it and kind of like figure that out and kind of do some lore on it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, appeal to some of the sequel fans we got out there.
Because I even put that on there. I was like, oh, the Last Jedi, assuming Luke built this on Ahch-To. And I was like, why?
No.
I was just really curious about it. It's like, okay, what's the importance of these type of structures as far as Jedi training goes?
Yeah.
Because we never see it in the Clone Wars. We don't see it in the prequels. We only see it with Luke. And maybe it's like something a lot more ancient than the prequels led on. Maybe we'll see it in the High Republic. I don't know. But I just loved Mando's whole response. R2 takes him over to this. He's like, okay, is anybody here? He's like, is that a bench?
Just takes a nap. That's what he does, right?
It was funny too. The guy that least likes droids.
Basically, yeah.
Droid.
Yeah. But you can't dislike R2. It's R2.
Yeah.
R2's got.
Yeah, Mando has no idea who that is.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But R2's always had a mouth on him, though.
Yeah, he has.
But I mean, at this point, Mando's been around droids so often that I think he's kind of warming up to him, I'd say.
Oh yeah, I mean, he was saved by a droid when it self-imploded on him. Like,
yeah,
come on for sure.
And then it jumps over, and we get to see the little green creature everybody loves.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, going into this episode, I didn't really think we were going to see Luke.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought he was just going to show up there, and then that was it.
That was a huge thing because I always thought it was a possibility, but we got like 45 minutes of Luke
we got a lot of Luke
Skywalker
Skywalker.
talking and walking and training and jumping and flipping. The montage with him on Grogu on his back, that was, I mean,
Yeah.
that's so nostalgic for Empire Strikes Back.
I just remember thinking Luke looks freaking amazing. The
Mm.
technology, just everything that they did to make Luke look like he's an actual person that young.
Yeah, well,
It was insane.
yeah, okay, so it's when this episode first came out, I was like just talking everybody's ear off about it, but it's been 2 weeks, so I've like calmed down a little bit. But I mean, to me, this is absolutely just like groundbreaking. This changes so many possibilities, like not even just for Star Wars, just for
Yeah.
anything. Like this is crazy what they did in this episode. Almost looks like they plucked him out of 1983 from Return of the Jedi and
Yeah.
just placed him in here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I put here in my notes. I was like, I was worried about this because I remember the last time we were talking in chapter 5, I was like, I really hope that they don't do an episode of just Luke and Grogu, that we jump back into the story. But like I was mentioning, like each individual episode has been great, and I'm not disappointed by this episode. I really enjoyed it.
Mm. And I mean, this is a moment that I think everybody has thought about after they see Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah.
Like, let's see Luke. You know, he trains Jedi. You know, he's trying to get that order, and we get to see it actually happen.
Yeah, and you're gonna hate me. I'm kind of disappointed with this Luke.
Oh, and why is that?
Oh, maybe because he's not really developed into the Luke that we've seen in The Last Jedi, and I'm kind of appreciating the Luke from Last Jedi a little bit more. Is that by the time we get to The Last Jedi, Luke realizes that the Jedi Order was completely arrogant and they did everything wrong. And you have Luke who has only been trained by Yoda, who Yoda also realizes that the Order has been wrong. Like, even in Clone Wars, we get a whole episode of Yoda going on a spiritual pilgrimage, who knows that the Jedi Order is about to completely be destroyed. And Yoda knows he has to let it happen. Yoda knows he can't intervene. And so Yoda trains Luke in the mindset, okay, well, what we did was wrong. We were doing it wrong the whole time. So Yoda trained Luke in an unorthodox way. And I kind of expected Luke to kind of not be so crazy into the whole Jedi thing. Because especially at the end when he gives Grogu the choice, it's like, okay, take this from Mando, or take what was a really cool Easter egg of Yoda's lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the Luke that we knew in Return of the Jedi wouldn't be that structured. He's like, okay, you got to get rid of attachment, but it's okay because I got Leia, I've got Han, I've got Chewbacca, I've got R2, I've got all these other attachments, but Grogu, you can't have it.
Well,
Yeah.
So you just explained it all, like, beautifully, and I think that's 100% true. This is a very ponderous plot point, and I might even say this is a plot hole right here, because Yoda, who trained Luke, they know the downfalls of the Jedi and why the Jedi fell and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
why would Luke teach when he starts his new temple? Why would he do the exact same things that made them fall off? But here's the thing: I think this is because of the Last Jedi. I don't know if this is really this episode's fault. They had to make it line up because Luke becomes I was gonna say he becomes a loser and a secluded hermit, and so I mean I mean they kind of have to make it work with the sequels is what they're trying to do.
Yeah. But I still
it doesn't
don't
make
think this Luke lines up with Last Jedi Luke yet.
I think he's on his way.
Could be.
But he's teaching the stuff that they taught in the prequels, which is just it doesn't make much sense. No attachments. What he should be teaching is it's fine to have friends and stuff as long as it doesn't lead to fear of losing them.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So I'm curious if they're going to develop more on Luke's personality on that, but I thought it was kind of an unfair choice to put on Grogu, especially since Grogu is such a I want to say a child in his growth, that it's like, okay, I'm giving you these two choices. It's a very cruel choice. It's like, you already know you're attached to Mando. Like, Luke already knew what Grogu's choice was going to be. And I know that they did this specifically because they're trying to save Grogu from Kylo's
Yeah.
destruction of the Jedi Temple. But even jumping into the comics, like Kylo didn't want to kill the Jedi at the temple. He just wanted to leave. There's the Jedi there that were trying to stop him from leaving that threw him in a rage that made him kill him. He even left some of them alive and took off, and they chased after him.
Yeah. Was Grogu even old enough to make this decision? I mean, you're just gonna go with Mando.
He's 50 years old right now, and that's basically a kid.
Yeah, he's a 5-year-old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
So, like, what he's gonna choose is like he wants to be back with his friend. I want to see my friend, is what he's saying. Like, he's not even old enough to make that decision.
Yeah. I know a lot of people on the Instagram, they were saying, oh, he's going to find somebody to have both. But, I mean, Yoda's lightsaber doesn't belong to him anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's another problem of the writers realized that they made a mistake because Grogu is such. I mean, Grogu makes more money probably than selling products and merchandise than any other character. And so they're like, you know what? We need Grogu back to Mando. They have to be together so we can have Grogu back in the picture.
Yeah, because they're like, okay, how are we going to do season 3 without Mando? But we saw chapter 5 of the Book of Boba where it was just Mando doing his thing. No Grogu. I thought he did really well without an episode with Grogu.
Yeah.
And I was excited to see a whole season without him. Maybe a cameo, and that was it.
Me too, 100%. And here's the thing. Here's the question. If Grogu picks the armor and goes back to Mando, does that undermine the whole arc of the Mandalorian? The whole point was to get Grogu back to his kind, get him to Luke, get him back to Luke, and then
No, that was Mando's point.
That's what I said too. That was Mando's goal.
Oh, not
That was
necessarily.
never Grogu's goal.
You're saying, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And now we can see perhaps a season 3 where he has Grogu's consent, to cart him around, and he's made his choice. And
So we'll see. One thing I did like about it was just the whole training sequence. I did enjoy the training sequence, like them sitting there doing the meditating thing. I love seeing Grogu get distracted and go after that little frog, and Luke is like, Grogu, what are you doing? And then Luke sits there and shows him the power. He's like, okay, you did it with one frog, but if you really sit here and focus, you can feel every living thing around you.
yeah,
And so Luke pulls up all the frogs and is like, this is what you can have. Like Grogu was like looking all over, and then he looks at his hand. He's like, I could do that too.
Yeah, Grogu's a fast learner too. I didn't think we'd see him flipping around in this episode.
yeah.
Like Yoda.
Luke said it himself. It's more him remembering.
Oh yeah, true.
Because he unlocked his mind. What do you think of that Order 66 scene?
Yeah, that was. I
I did not expect that.
No, that's the first time we've
Neither
seen.
was I.
That's the first time we've seen clones in live action since 2005.
Yeah.
Insane.
And a lot of people are arguing with me on the Instagram, but I'm holding strong to it. One of the main Jedis there, I think, was Rom Koda from The Force Unleashed.
With the ponytail on the back of his head.
Yeah.
That guy, right, Bridge?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying, no, it's Sindrag. But Anakin kills Sindrag right when he gets to the Jedi Temple. Like, Yoda sees it on the little holocam.
Yeah, I know.
And people are like, well, Rom Koda left with the whole militia during the Clone Wars. I was like, well, technically that's a Legends canon. So they could have easily rewritten his character here, just as a kind of little tiny Easter egg. But a lot of people are still against me on it, but I'm holding strong to it. Because like you see him walking, you see him get shot down, but you also see the other Jedi get lit up. Like they walk past him and start shooting him down, but they never confirmed Rom Koda's death by shooting him while he was down. So a lot of people are complaining like, oh man, that's such a waste of character. I'm like, well, technically if they can bring Fennec back, if they can bring other characters back, I think they can bring a Jedi that got shut down.
Yeah. I almost thought in that scene for a quick second, I thought we were going to see Anakin. Like, I didn't think Anakin was going to come in swinging at people, but I thought we might see him in the background show.
Yeah, see a little lightsaber or something.
Yeah, with his hood over or something. Like, I was getting ready for that. Anakin comes up, just stabs Grogu through the chest.
It was all a dream.
And who was hiding? Was it those Jedi that were hiding Grogu? Somebody was hiding Grogu.
Yeah, maybe they were in charge of his studying that day.
Yeah. That fateful day when he had to kill everybody.
Yeah, because he saw the whole thing happen, and it's like, where's he hiding? How does he get out? Because that's my thing, is like, how does he get out? Maybe it's Rom Koda gets up and it's like, after the clones are gone, he's like still really super injured, but he kind of just like gets up weakly, grabs Grogu, and then sneaks out.
Maybe we'll see a continuation of that
Flashback.
flashback at some point.
Oh yeah, I definitely think we will.
Oh, I'm hoping.
Yeah, we probably will.
But yeah, I'm holding strong. I think that's wrong code, and I think that they're going to do something more with it. I mean, even if I'm wrong, I'm still that little man bun sells it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fun to theorize. It's part of the fun of
It is, yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah, even if I'm wrong, it's fun just to kind of come up with theories and kind of like, oh, they could do this, they could do that, they could do that. They're going to rewrite his character. Maybe it's not going to be Starkiller that he's going to be introducing. Speaking of which, actually, rumors are saying that Starkiller is going to be the Inquisitor and Kenobi.
Ooh, that'd be very interesting.
I hope not.
And so I hope they still use Sam Witwer.
Oh, true. Yeah, he played him.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
I hope not. Just my opinion. I don't really want Force Unleashed to be canon.
Well, it could be a different Star Killer. I mean, it could be the same guy, but just different powers. I mean,
so like
not as OP.
Okay, because
yeah, I mean, he can be the main antagonist, but
yeah,
you got to remember, like video games, they kind of accentuate a lot of the abilities.
yeah.
Except for Fallen Order. Fallen Order is pretty realistic with the powers, the Force powers.
Exactly, they made it like more.
Because they knew it was
This
canon.
is actually what happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
knew.
they did the same thing in the Jedi Outcast, the Dark Forces series. Like the abilities were pretty similar to Fallen Order.
True. Also, I'm just looking at this picture. We noticed that Luke has that's a different outfit from Return of the Jedi. Same concept, different outfit.
I think it's the same actually.
Really? It looks different to me.
No, it's the same. Because I have the costume. There's different parts that go onto it. The Luke that we're familiar with is he wears the poncho that is on Jabba's Salem barge.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else is the same. Like he's just wearing it plain.
So like Luke kind of had something over it in Return of the Jedi, and he doesn't have that. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Even when he fights Vader, like it's the same costume. The only difference is the flap falls open.
Okay, that's the same. It's the same as from when he was on the sail barge, huh? The same outfit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same outfit, yeah. Except he didn't have the cloak and he didn't have the. There's another piece that goes over like a vest or whatever. Because I have all the pieces to it, and I'll have to. I'll look at it again. I could be wrong. It could be slightly different, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same.
Okay. Well, he's missing the over part, the over jacket, whatever it is. Oh, he looks so good.
Yeah, and Luke only wore that on the sail barge. The rest of the movie, he was just without it. He didn't wear the cloak.
Me and Echo 12 have this slideshow on. I just, man, it's like lifelike. It's so lifelike, Luke, in this episode.
Dude, yeah. I'm still baffled about it. Mark Hamill still came in and he like his voice like almost 100% sounded like Luke. Like knowing Mark Hamill's voice now, so raspy and all that, I'm like, how's he gonna portray that Return of the Jedi Luke voice? And it's almost flawless. And I know they'll probably use some technology to kind of alter it, but still.
Yeah, and I thought, we had no idea the technology was going to look like this. I thought it was just going to look like the same it did in Mando Season 2, because that was just a year ago. But just 3 weeks ago, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was texting Mark. I was like, I'm reading the book, Master and Apprentice. First book I've read in a long time, by the way, and it's really good.
A long time.
But I was bummed because I was like, damn, we can never see this. We can never see this in live action because Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are so much older, but we could 100% get that in live action, 100%. With the technology.
And I'm looking at a picture of Luke from Book of Boba. It is actually different.
It is?
Yeah. It reminds me more of like kind of a Japanese tunic.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's almost looks the same as A New Hope, but just like black.
Yeah, a little bit. And it kind of fits that whole Asian motif with like the bamboo and all that to fit that whole genre.
Yeah,
that whole illusion.
Like honestly, it just looks like a black karate outfit, kind of what Luke has on in this one.
Yeah. What is it? A gi? Is that what they call him?
Gi, yeah.
I liked a lot of the references that Luke did with Yoda. Like we even hear Yoda's name in this. Like he's like, what was it? I once knew someone like you. He talked in riddles. Did you anybody ever talk to you like this?
Yeah. That stuff is kind of cool because like kind of don't realize Luke spent a lot of time with Yoda.
Yeah.
You know.
I wonder if Grogu ever got to meet him.
Who, Yoda?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
There's some people.
It's possible.
There's some people that still think Grogu is Yoda's son.
No, Yoda was a devout.
Yoda could have banged Yaddle, and nobody knows.
No, just not. But I
Yoda
mean,
and Yaddle.
Yoda may have.
I'm with Echo 12 on this.
Yeah, Yoda could have. I mean,
Hard I am.
we only know of 3 of his species.
That was so weird.
I feel like he may be interested in being, one of his kind. I feel like he might take a vested interest in saying, yeah.
And Yoda spent a lot of time with the younglings.
Yeah, he did. We see him. So I mean, I feel like he may have met him, maybe even just in passing, but I mean, not to the extent that Luke did.
Bring that ass back, you will. Yeah. Well, sorry, we're gonna have to cut that one out.
Yeah.
No, we're keeping it. I like the Ahsoka and Mando's interaction because we got to see them in season 2 of Mando, so it's kind of cool to see them interact again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I thought you were gonna help train Grogu. She's like, oh, I'm not, Lucas.
Yeah.
I'm just here.
And this just assures, we keep getting these reminders. We got to watch Clone Wars. Me and Bridger. It's another reminder.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be doing some podcasts on Clone Wars, so I'll tell you what arcs to cover, and we'll jump in and discuss. It'll be fun to actually discuss Clone Wars with you guys since you guys haven't seen them. So it'd be kind of cool to see a new perspective.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Season by season, maybe.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And Ahsoka's going to be a big part of all this stuff. She's got her own show.
I was gonna do it the machete order, the chronological order.
Yeah. I'll have to watch it like that. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Should we?
There's too much knowledge for me to not follow it. Just to sit down and watch it.
Because I had some people say we should just do it season by season.
No, I'm gonna watch it. And the way that he has sent us.
Okay.
He sent me a video.
Oh yeah, he sent you the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll
do it like that.
Yeah, we got it.
We'll do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm having trouble getting through season 1, Mark. I'm having trouble. I've tried.
Season 1 of what?
Clone Wars.
No, do it the chronological way. It bounces from season to season.
Yeah, I think we'll have to do it like that.
My counter to that was the first season of The Office sucks, but you gotta stick.
True.
You gotta stick through it. Not that I've tried.
Season 1 of Book of Boba Fett sucks. Season 2, I'm just kidding. It does not suck. It does not suck. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Chill, bro. Chill.
I'm just kidding. Not great, but I'm gonna say pretty good. Pretty good.
Its highs weren't like the 2 seasons of Mando, but there's been lower points in the Star Wars media we've been given. There have been far lower points.
I think there's been plenty. There's been a lot of highs in this. In this series, it's just like we've just been saying, just like head scratching moments, like the way they set certain things up.
It's the story they wanted to tell.
Yeah, and I mean the story's not over yet. We do have Mando season 3, and a lot of what's being built up here could be part of that. So that's kind of what's holding me on hope, I'd say, for why this Book of Boba is necessary. There's got to be something bigger that they're working with. I'm hoping.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, you would think so. Hope so.
What you guys think of the interaction between Mando and Ahsoka? Like, she wakes him up and she's like, "Okay." He's like, "Well, I was looking for Grogu." Well, that's why he brought you to me instead.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, it's all part of the teaching and the practice.
And she was wise. The advice she gave him, he was right there. He wanted to say hi to his buddy.
Yeah.
But she said, "That's for you. You want to do that.
Yeah.
It's gonna make it harder on him." What good stuff. Wise stuff.
I like that not even a Jedi can sneak up on Mando either. As soon as he wakes up, he's ready. He has the blaster out.
Hey,
that is true, actually.
Yeah.
That's a good catch. I like that.
I know it probably didn't hit you guys in the feels when she said this, but for anybody that was watching Clone Wars can probably sharing these emotions with me when she said, he's like, "How do you know Luke?" She's like, "Oh, I'm an old friend of the family."
Yeah.
I was like, "Aw."
Yeah, perfect way to convey that.
That hit me right. That hit me right in the heart. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
poor Anakin.
And then later she hits him with so much like your father.
And I'm not gonna lie, that line was, I felt like it was forced in there. Because like if you look at it, she's like, the Mandalorian. Luke is like, the Mandalorian is here, and he's like, then she's like, as I told you, the two share a strong bond, and he brought him a gift. And then she's like, sometimes I wonder if his heart is in it. Like completely switches from it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, so much like your father. Honestly, I felt that was forced. The way Luke was talking like that doesn't remind me of Anakin at all.
Yeah. Maybe
Even in Clone Wars,
her heart in it, I guess.
like Anakin never ever talked like that about like training. So I felt that was kind of a little forced and a little bit off. I felt like something else he do should have been more reminiscent of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could be looking too much into it, but I mean, I did like the comment, but I just felt it was misplaced.
Yeah, I mean, we have so much media at this point. It is whoever writes whoever writes them and whoever decks them has to know that we're sitting here with this whole bag of knowledge and,
Yeah, especially Dave Filoni, the one
Yeah.
that directed it.
Yeah, true. And the fun little comment, yeah, there's no place safer than Luke.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, with this version of Luke, maybe. But
I will say from this episode, I'm glad we got this episode because it's kind of cool. I always go back and rewatch the movies, and now we have this episode. We can see Luke after Return of the Jedi. How cool is that? Like, actually, not Sebastian, somebody else playing him, but we have the action.
yeah,
But the only
we
downside.
need to get Sebastian to this.
Wait, say that again.
So we need to get Sebastian to play
Sebastian
Luke.
Stan.
Yeah, that dude.
You would rather him play Luke than this awesome new technology?
Well, I mean, no, but I mean, it'd still be cool. Maybe as like the body double or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say I'm glad we had this episode. But the only thing, like you're saying, Mark, it's kind of weird. It doesn't quite line up with Return of the Jedi. The way he's the prequel.
I mean, this is 5 years after, but still.
True.
Luke doesn't come across as somebody who would follow the teachings of the Jedi Order.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult to write this episode. We know where he's been, we know where he's going. So you have to try to find a middle ground between what we think he would be like and what he turns into and what he was.
Well, they have to draw the line from Luke being an awesome hero to Luke, and I'm being honest, they weren't trying to hide
Luke
this.
being a jerk.
Hey, and they weren't trying to hide it. In the Last Jedi, they made Luke into like a loser and a hermit. They have to draw the line from him being top of the world to bottom of the world.
Yeah, it has to start somewhere.
And so
Yeah.
they're trying to start it here, I guess.
Yeah.
That's not even hating on Last Jedi to try to do that. Sorry.
I mean, I guess you're right.
I kind of have a comment about Book of Boba Fett, a thought that I've been thinking about.
Okay.
So I think I'm kind of getting the fans' kind of overarching feeling here. It's not that Book of Boba Fett is so bad and like people hate it. It's that I feel like
It's confusing.
It's like before Book of Boba Fett came out, hopes were like extremely high because Mandalorian season 1 and 2 are some of the best content we've gotten. It's like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Awesome content. And we said, as long as we have Filoni, as long as we have Favreau, as long as we have this pool of directors going at it, Star Wars is in good hands. We're going to be great. And with Book of Boba Fett, we've kind of seen that it's not that good. It's good, but it's not as good as we were expecting.
Yeah.
Nowhere near as good as we were expecting. So it kind of shows, it's not.
It would be hard to top Mando, though.
But here's the thing, Kenobi has to. Kenobi has got to now. Now that we got a little bit lackluster thing with Boba.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it doesn't have to top. It has to match, right? It has to match.
Yeah.
Mando.
I guess Mando was different because it's a completely fresh start. We didn't know who he was. We didn't know where he's been. We didn't know where he's going.
True, but like I was talking to Mark, like even Empire Strikes Back isn't a fresh start. They're building on A New Hope, and it's the best Star Wars of all time.
That's true,
right?
Yeah.
And just because something has a different story or whatever, you can still tell the quality when the quality's at 9 out of 10 or when the quality's at 5 out of 10.
That's true.
You can easily tell that. I don't know. It kind of puts. I feel like it's putting the fans on a little bit on edge. Like, oof, we really hope Kenobi's gonna hit like Mando.
Yeah.
It can't be like not even say Boba's bad, but we don't want Kenobi to be 7 out of 10,
Yeah.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it won't. We have Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
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 What did you like about some of the nostalgic themes that they threw in with Luke training Grogu?
Like, which parts?
Similar things to
Oh, the Yoda.
with Luke doing all the flips and stuff and doing some of the training, kind of similar to what he did on Dagobah with Yoda.
Oh yeah.
Him on his back.
Yeah, that was awesome.
We got Yoda's theme. We got the Binary Sunset theme,
Keep us
which I thought was cool.
distracting a little bit. Wait, we got a binary. Oh, the theme, the music.
Yeah.
That 100%. And you know what's funny? I was actually texting my friend when Luke does the flip. Luke does a flip when he's doing this training montage, and it's like Star Wars is the only thing where I can see a flip, and all he's doing is flipping, and I'm feeling like this wave of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because like that's obviously a callback to his flip in Dagobah. Empire Strikes Back. Like it's so funny how Star Wars could do that to you. He literally just flips, and it's like, oh, it's so cool, you know? It's crazy.
And even the training droid.
True, I forgot about that. Yeah, he has a helmet.
That's not the same training droid, by the way, that Luke trained with on the Falcon.
What is it? A different color or something?
No, because when you look at the sequel trilogy, when Finn is going through all the tools and stuff, he picks up the training droid that Luke had on the Falcon. And so we know it's still intact on the Falcon at the time of The Force Awakens.
That's true.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm sure they sell those. They sell those droids at different shops around the galaxy.
Jedi's are us.
Yeah, they're training.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought
it was cool to see like Luke training with his own lightsaber while Grogu's just kind of just sitting there watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just showing off at that point.
Yeah. He's like, look what I can do, kid.
I think Luke was just kind of letting out his Jedi powers, like, "Bro, this is so awesome."
Well, it was also kind of for us.
Yeah, it was. No, it was 100%. But
it was definitely a fanfare for sure.
And the Green Saber, I just love the Green Saber.
Oh yeah, I've always liked Luke's Return of the Jedi lightsaber. Like if I ever had one, it'd be very similar to Luke's.
Oh yeah, when he whips out that Green Saber and starts slicing and dicing everybody on the cell barge, one of my favorite moments.
Yep.
Dude, yeah.
In the entire saga. But
so, I mean, I really did enjoy like this whole sequence with Luke and all that, but I was kind of happy to finally see Mando take off the planet and head back to Jabba's palace.
Yes.
And Boba doesn't even get a line in this. I thought he would.
Boba doesn't even get an appearance. We don't even see him.
No, he's in it. No, he's there. He gets a cameo.
Does he?
At the start in the review?
When Mando goes back to Jabba's palace.
Well, that's true. Yeah. It was 5. It was 5 when he doesn't get an appearance.
Yeah.
That's right.
Chapter 6, we get one.
You're right. He gets a couple shots in there. No dialogue though, like you were saying.
And they're talking about the Pike Syndicate, what they're doing. They're like, the mods survey the streets, but lack of the foot soldiers. And then Mando's like, hey, I can help with that. Then I was like, oh, here we go, another Mando adventure.
Yes. Yep. And I hope this is going to grow up to a nice war. They keep saying war, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so it ties in the beginning of the episode with Cal Vance showing up. And it's cool. You can see a piece of the on the Jawa. You can see the Great Dragon skull.
Yeah, that was really cool.
They killed. And then in the bar that they go in to sit down with Cal Vance, you see some of the bones and stuff strewn out throughout the entire bar.
Oh yeah.
And we find out it's not called Mos Pelgo anymore. It's Freetown.
Freetown,
baby.
Protect.
Not
gonna lie.
Yeah, I like Mos Pelgo better. I agree.
I did too.
Yeah, you got Freetown protected by Scott. don't come around.
Deputy Scott.
Yeah. Don't mess with Scott at Freetown. Okay.
Yeah, you can't park there, man. Do you know who I am? I'm Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, who helps you guys gain independence from the beasts down under. And you're gonna sit here and tell me where I can park?
Yeah. Now, again, we haven't seen it, but does Cad Bane have a bit of like? Does he fight with a bit of respect? Because he does the warning shot for Cobb Van, shoots him in the shoulder. It's like, don't mess with me. But then when he goes to the deputy, he shoots him like 5-6 times.
Yeah.
In the stomach, in the head, whatever.
Yeah.
He shoots him all over the place.
Yeah.
Is that out of respect? What is that?
Sending a message.
Yeah. Cad Bane is very precise.
I think it was like, this is what I could do to you, but I'm just going to leave you injured to tell the rest of your town.
Because that's what he says. He says, as long as the spice keeps running, everyone will be left alone.
Yeah.
And precise. That's a good word too, because precise with his shooting and his actions too.
Yeah, because he's a sharpshooter. Like, seriously, like, I think he just did a test shot against Cobb Vanth, and his message was, as long as the spice keeps running. I think he was talking to Cobb because he knew he wasn't dead. Everyone would be left alone. It's like, all right, don't come against me because I just proved I can outshoot you. I just took you down and Deputy Scott.
Yeah.
I just like saying Deputy Scott because it sounds so funny.
Yeah. What a cool character. Cad Bane is just so cool.
Yeah.
You'll like him in Clone Wars. His first introduction, he's the first episode of season 2 is when he shows up, and
nice.
I fell in love with the character.
Where there's an episode with Luke Skywalker, we're still talking about Cad Bane.
Yeah, I mean, he really is cool, and it's a bummer. They brought him in episode 6. Would have been nice to have him
a lot earlier. Set up more as a villain.
Yeah.
But I mean, you get what you get.
He's so cool. I'd be bummed to see him die. That's how cool he is.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see that the bartender who is against it kind of looks up and you see that determination in his eyes. He's like, all right, we weren't going to join, but now we are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because honestly, like, Cobb Vanth's going to stay out of it.
But now he has a reason to fight.
Well, I mean, he's still out of it, I'm sure. He's
yeah.
got a little bit of an injury there.
Yeah.
It looks like the bartender's going to be the one that's going to rally everybody.
Yeah, probably.
But when I saw Cad Bane walking over the distance, I had no question who that was. I was freaking out.
Yeah, even as someone has only seen him from the Bad Batch, as soon as you see that, you know who that is.
Yeah. And still love the design. I know we talked about it earlier, but I still like the design on him.
Yeah.
Jeez. Very reminiscent to the Duros that we see in A New Hope. But the mouth needs to be down just a bit more. But I know that they fit it more to a human actor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you'd be comparing it to live action anyway, not Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It's not gonna look exactly like he did in the cartoon. But yeah, he looks awesome. Episode as a whole, this is like a shoot. This is like a 9 out of 10. This episode.
At least, yeah.
This is a great episode. We lost Mark.
He's muted.
Marky Mark.
I'm back. I'm back. I was coughing. My bad.
You're good.
Yeah, but just something felt off about Cad Bane because I'm like curious about his character. Like I want to know more about his character during the role of the Empire now. Like, because he's talking about Boba Fett being a cold-blooded killer who worked with the Empire. So does that mean Cad Bane was against the Empire?
That's another thing is
the
that
book of Cad Bane.
Yeah,
is he an actually good guy? Did he join the rebellion? JK. I don't. No, I know he didn't. I'm just messing around.
Real quick, that's the thing about this having this series after Return of the Jedi is that if they want to do any kind of fan service, if they want to like, oh, let's bring in this character, that means they're all alive during the original trilogy, which is kind of you get in murky territory there, but.
So it seems like Cad Bane just kind of stuck to more like underground bounties.
Yeah.
And it sounds like he avoided the Empire.
And the good thing is you can tell
for whatever reason.
You can tell the super.
Yeah.
But so what would you guys rate this episode?
At least a 9. As individually?
Yeah, I feel like I feel like this is a 9. Only reason it's not a 10 is because the Luke character progression that we were talking about.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I liked everything that we got out of it, but I'm excited to see more. See where they're actually leading with all this.
Heck yeah.
So there you guys have it. That is our discussion of Chapter 6.
Thanks for letting us
Oh yeah, always, anytime, guys. So, guys, please be sure to like and comment. It helps people find us better when there's more activity, and please share with your friends. The more views you get, the better. Be sure to check out the links in the description where you can find a Discord where you can chat with other fans like yourselves and discuss the mysteries of the Star Wars universe. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram where we continue to post updates and news. If you're looking for some new shirts that shows your love of Star Wars, then we have you covered. We have some designs that we worked on and know you will love, so check out our Teespring. So, Echo 2 out.
Echo 12 out.
Echo 3 out.
May the Force
Be with you.
Always. Swag sauce.